All right, here we are. Tuesday Truth, Beatitudes. This first video is going to be an overview of what the Beatitudes are and how they're structured. So when you look at the Beatitudes, you'll notice this word repeated over and over and over again. It's blessed, blessed, blessed. Depending on your translation, that word's going to show up 9 different times in this section of Scripture. That's where we get the word beatitude from. It's these blessings, these amazing statements. So there's that first component to the Beatitudes, the blessing, but then you're also going to notice that there's something that's promised as well. For theirs is the kingdom of heaven. For they shall be comforted. For they shall inherit the earth. For they shall be satisfied. There's like a for that kind of gives the reason for why that thing is so blessed. Now, we have to really think in a deeper way about this word blessed. Because when we hear that word, we actually tend to think of a meaning that's very different than what the people of Jesus' day thought of when they heard the word blessed. I want to show you something real quick. So if you look at this diagram I made for you, it's just the English Bible next to the Greek Bible. And you guys know that most of the New Testament is written in Greek, and most of the Old Testament is written in Hebrew. And this word blessed over here is the translation of the Greek word makarios, or here makarioi because it's in plural. And that word can mean a lot of different things. Most often it's actually translated as happy or flourishing in life. And there's a reason for that. It's because actually in the time of like Aristotle and Socrates and some of these Greek dudes who were philosophers, they had something known as macarisms, or the makarios, these blessings, that was a way of talking about the best way to live your life. And they would oftentimes write these macarisms in 9 statements. So there's 9 different statements here that are giving us the best way to truly live. As they would say, the virtuous way to live. And we can tend to think of the word blessed like this. A tornado goes whipping through your neighborhood, wiping out all the houses and all the trees except for yours. You say, man, I'm blessed, right? That's not what this word is talking about. We can also think of blessed as the opposite of being cursed. Maybe you have studied the Old Testament and you know God said if you do this, you'll have this blessing. And if you do that, this bad thing, you're going to have this curse. That's not what this word means either. This word is instead making a value statement on life. It's pointing out to what is the best way to live. It's actually like a wisdom category of someone who lives wisely versus someone who lives not wisely. And that's why in your Old Testament, in Psalm 1, you read this, blessed is the man. Again, that same Greek word makarios is translating that word blessed. And that word here is not just saying, hey, if you live a righteous life, you will get this reward. It's actually a wisdom statement that those who don't listen to the wicked and those who delight in the law, they're the ones living the wise way. So what does this word blessed mean? Well, it means a couple different things. First, it means that this is the wise way to live. This is the way when you look back on your life after, say, 10, 15, 20 years go by, you'll have said, if you live this way, you live the best way. If you're like me, you love candy, you love junk food, you love cheesesteak egg rolls. They're like a weakness of mine. But if you keep eating things like cheesesteak egg rolls all the time, constantly, eventually your acne-ridden, bloated, lethargic self is going to look at yourself in the mirror and go, there's a better way to live. Even though that is yummy and a tasty treat in the moment, overall, that's not really a wise way to live your life. These Beatitudes are going to help us see, in the grand scheme of things, what is the best way to live. Now, there's also a second part to the Beatitudes. There's the blessed, those makarios, those wisdom ways to live. But there's also these fours in each of the statements. And so there's two things. The second thing is a promise of reward. So not only is Jesus saying, hey, this is the best way to live here and now, blessed, but this is also something that when I come again, when you enter into heaven, will be the thing that is rewarded in ways that are just beyond your wildest dreams. So the amazing thing about being a Christian, guys, is there loss? Is there cost? Yes, you have to say no to things like cheesesteak egg rolls sometimes. Things that are delicious, things that are fun at times because they're unhelpful for you. But Christianity is not a message that says there's no joy in this life for you. In fact, what Jesus is saying is that if you follow me in these ways, you are going to flourish and have a more happy, more full, and more meaningful life than the person who is unwise. And the Christian life also, you know this, is one that says, as good as this life will be, with you living in wisdom, it is nothing compared to the future reward that you will have. Even for being persecuted. Look at the last one here. Blessed are those who are persecuted for righteousness' sake, for theirs is the kingdom of heaven. There you see him continue on that and say, blessed are you when others revile you and persecute you and utter all kinds of evil against you falsely on my account. How could that possibly be so? Well, we rejoice and be glad because our reward is great in heaven. So it's those promises that really undergird why this is the ultimate best way to live. So guys, these Beatitudes are going to show us the way that we can ultimately be happy and experience the fullest lives that we can live. And it's the exact opposite of the Beatitudes, if you will, that the world tells to us. Ray Ortland is one of my favorite pastors out there. And he came up with the unbeatitudes. He sort of said, okay, this is the opposite of the Beatitudes that the world tells you. Congratulations to the entitled, for they grab what they want. Congratulations to the carefree, for they shall be comfortable. Congratulations to the pushy, for they shall win. Congratulations to the greedy, for they shall climb the food chain. Congratulations to the vengeful, for they shall be feared. Congratulations to those who don't get caught, for they shall look good. Congratulations to the argumentative, for they shall get in the last word. Congratulations to the popular, for this world lies at their feet. Did any of those connect with you? Have you heard those things or felt those things from friends or the world? This is the message that the world tells you. And ultimately, that way of living will not lead to flourishing and to happiness. It will lead to the destruction of your life and ultimately judgment. The Beatitudes show us the true way to live in a full way. So in summary, there's two aspects to the Beatitudes. First, they are wisdom statements on life. How is the best way to live? That's what they tell us. They also promise future reward. And so as we look at each of these in specific in the videos that are coming, we'll be able to see wisdom for living now, but also hope for the future, knowing that the reward in heaven will be so great when we meet Jesus face to face. So we'll see you next time when we look at poor in spirit.